Hello, everyone. I'm Joanna De Ninis, and this is Truth Talk for May 10th, 2026. This is my second attempt at recording. Still not feeling the best. I still have a cold. What happened is I had a coughing fit, so I had to record again. Anyways, trying not to do that. I'm trying to do this off the cuff, not planned, no edits, but I had to stop. I mean, I was just had a major coughing fit. Anyways, so what I was saying, or the topic for today. And by the way, happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there. I hope you had a wonderful day. And in lieu of Mother's Day, the topic for today is parent alienation. This is something that we're seeing, or I'm seeing this pretty, pretty across the board. I don't know if it's a social media thing. I think it might be. And it's not to say that every young adult, um, tries to exercise their independence and I want to say kind of takes their frustration out on their parents. It's kind of a normal stage when you're, trying to find your way. And I mean, I believe I went through something like that too, and probably lasted a couple of months. But then I woke up, and I grew up, excuse me, and realized that it's up to me to learn and to not repeat or, to maybe make things better. You know, my parents growing up didn't have the best relationship. And I think it weighed heavily on me. I wanted to make sure that I didn't repeat history. But, then you meet your soulmate and you think everything's great and you meet them where you're at, even though you're not fully healed. And then, the rest is history. So my kids kind of grew up with seeing a lot of, bickering, arguing going on in the household and stuff that I tolerated for a long time because out of love. And I think what happens is, the kids see this and they get confused and it kind of shapes them, and I think rightfully so, they want to blame somebody. And it turned out for my daughter, it was me. I was the one to blame. And I'm sure if she was asked today, she would disagree. But it became very obvious that she had a very good relationship with her dad and not a good one with me. And, I wasn't a perfect mom. I don't think anybody is. No one's a perfect parent. But I know I did the best I could. I loved and cared for my kids. I took the best care of them, loved them dearly, still do. And, but like I said, no one's perfect. And I guess, um, if anyone could be blamed, it was me for the dysfunction in the marriage. And at the moment, I'm in the process of divorce because I did do some healing, evolving, and with that, you no longer tolerate what you used to. And so, after 27 years of marriage, here I am going through a divorce when I never expected this to happen. And luckily, it's amicable. Like I said, I still love my husband. I probably always will as the father of my children, and just love him. I think he was in fact my soulmate. He might have been a karmic soulmate, meaning I was here to learn a lesson from him. But he was definitely my soulmate. And so, like I said, in all of this dysfunction, we'll call it, somehow I lost my daughter. My kids, I think they were told things about me that, were not true. And when I wasn't there, and one of my kids admitted that I was being talked about when I wasn't there. And so clearly there was stuff that went on that I was not aware of, stuff that I would never do to my spouse. But, it's what sometimes people do when they are not in a good place, right? Hurt people. And I had to contend with that. I mean, a stay-at-home mom, poured my heart and soul into my kids, for a good 10 to 11 years. And then I entered the workforce, poured my heart and soul into that, and, worked 60 to 70-hour weeks, only to find out it really was never appreciated or respected. And then I poured my heart and soul into caring for my mom. And like I said, around the time that this was happening, where I was caring for my mom and I couldn't do the full-time work and care for my mom, I guess finances came into question, that I wasn't working the full-time job and bringing in the income. And so that was bringing on stress, triggering my spouse's traumas, fear of not having enough, coming from a place of lack. And that's what spurred this whole, um, campaign against me, I suppose. And that and the fact that what I'm trying to do, my purpose in life, my passion is not understood. My family does not understand it. They don't get it. And I get it. It's not something that most people can jump on board with. It's definitely not the ordinary. But there's like no support on my end. And I hate to talk like this because I don't want to be, sounding like a victim, because I'm not. I just had to do a lot of learning, and I had to figure out my place in this world and what I was meant to do. And I know what I'm meant to do. It's just, it didn't fit in my family dynamic, which is mind blowing because I never thought, I thought family was supposed to be loving, supporting, accepting, understanding. And I got none of that. So, anyways, moving on. Um, it's heart wrenching because, my boys are living with me. I have three children. My two boys are with me. Things are okay. I mean, they're getting better. But with my daughter, I didn't even see her today. She planned a trip to go out of town, and she wished me a happy Mother's Day, which was nice, but clearly she could have, if she wanted, excuse me, spend some time with me. But it's okay. It's not really okay, but it's going to be okay because I'm going to forgive it, and I'm going to let it go, even though it's heartbreaking. It's heart-wrenching. I don't want to cry. Again, I don't want to be the victim because it's just when you love someone so much and maybe you're not very good at expressing it, it's hard when you can't fix it because can't control or change the outcome. You know, what my daughter wants to do, she's gonna do, and that's it. And I can't change it. And what hurts is that time is not renewable. It's not a renewable resource, and you can't get time. You can't get time back. You just can't. And a lot of people are like, oh, she'll come around, you know, she'll mature. And I hope so, but I don't know when. It could be 10, 15 years. I guess it could be. It could be a month, it could be two. I don't know. But it's heartbreaking. Uh, But you can only meet people where they're at. And so that's what I'm doing. So I still extend invitations. I still invite her to come over. Um, I'll continue to try to connect with her in some form or fashion, but I'm sure that going through this divorce is not easy on her. I mean, she was kind of in the middle between me and my husband, and I'm sure that was not fun. And I get it. So, but it's still heartbreaking. It's still heart wrenching. And I guess in life, you take what you're given, and it could always be worse. Thankfully, we have our health, and that's great. And her dad and I we're amicable. We're on amicable terms. We're not. We're in the process. It's not finalized yet. So I still call him my husband, and he'll always be my soulmate, karmic or not. He'll always be my soulmate. And we had a lot of years together, a lot of ups and downs, and but three wonderful children. You know, very, very grateful. As a mom, children are part of you, and I'm sure for my husband he feels the same, but it's different. It's different for a mom because a mom is we give our bodies for our children. I literally almost died giving birth to my daughter. And I know that sounds crazy in today's day and age, but literally, I don't know. There was some type of medication that was given to me. It was the wrong. I could tell. I was like, I'm not feeling well, and before you know it, the nurses are running in and they're pressing buttons, and they were all panicked, and I literally felt myself going under. And they were able to pull me out of it, but it was probably a close call. So as a mom, you know, you would give your life for your kids. It's what you do. And I would do it again without question. I'm sorry. I'm just really emotional, and I don't want to have to re-record. Whatever this is. I'm completely, completely, totally vulnerable at this point, and this is hard for me. This is hard. I'm sure for most people, but it is hard for me to be this vulnerable on camera, and I'm gonna blast this all over the internet, right? It's just it's it's nuts, really. But I'm just I think though this is the type of video that has to get out because again, in defense of a lot of parents that just did the best they could. They have a lot of kids. There's a lot of kids out there that are not respecting their parents, and that's a shame because your parents are your parents, and your mom's your mom. Your mom gave you life. You should at least respect your mom. You may not like everything that she has to say or do, but you should at least respect your mom. Anyhow, I'm gonna gather myself together here, but I'm gonna call it a night. I I don't know what else to say. You know, it's all the moms out there that are experiencing what I'm experiencing, and I'm sure there's dads out there too that are experiencing the same. Just stay strong. Be confident in who you are. That you did the best you could. We're all here on a learning journey. Nobody's given instructions on how to be a parent. I'm sure we all did the best we could. And hopefully one day our children realize what it takes to be a parent and extend a bit of grace, right? Because that's really what we need, just a little bit of grace, because no one's perfect. And like I said, we're all on our learning journey. And I have learned a lot. I've evolved and I've changed, and I probably will continue to. But I'm committed to making things right, as best as I can, even if I have to do it alone. I'll do it alone. I found that inner strength to continue on my own, and I will. And I guess I'll set that example that maybe I could have been better at setting, as a mother and a wife. So I should have provided a more stable, um, calm, harmonious environment, I suppose. And I guess I'll have to own that, right? Because I was reluctant in setting boundaries and I tolerated more than I should have. And I know that now. So, I'm committed to doing that going forward. And there's no looking back. I have nothing but forgiveness at this point. I'm hard to forget, but I will forgive and move on because that's what we have to do. We have to keep moving on. We have to learn our lessons and just keep going. And so that's what I'm doing. So I hope this encourages you to do the same, to know that you're not alone and we're all in this journey together, learning, trying to do better, trying to be better, right? And yeah, it's not an overnight process. It takes time, but with good intentions and making good choices, like I said, living by the golden rule, that's how we do it. We just keep putting one foot in front of the other and and setting boundaries, which are extremely necessary to allow only those that respect us and are worthy to be in our circle or to have a seat at our table. That's who we allow in. And so, to all the children out there that don't think their parents are worthy or deserving of respect, I hope that you'll give it a second thought and realize that your parents are human and they have their own journey and learning to do in this life, and that hopefully you can give them grace and then realize that, you know what, it's up to you now to step up and do the work. Whatever your parents couldn't do, you try to solve that issue and break the cycle or end the cycle. If it's a cycle situation, be the cycle breaker. Develop that strength, that inner strength, that self-love, self-care, and do your role in breaking the cycle. So that's it. If you want to know more about what I'm doing with REACH, which stands for Righteous Engagement and Accountability and Change for Everyone, and the REACH Integrative Healthcare Cause, please go to www.reache.group. On the website, you can join the REACH Facebook group, the REACH YouTube channel. There's also a place to donate to the Integrative Healthcare Cause. There's also REACH merchandise that you can purchase where a portion of the proceeds goes to the Integrative Healthcare Cause. And there will be contact forms that pop up on the website. This is so that we can stay in touch, we can stay connected. Just please fill out all the fields. I promise I will not sell your information. The information gets integrated into MailChimp so I can send out newsletters in the future, like a monthly newsletter. Promise I won't bombard you with, tons of email, or I won't be, sending numerous, requests for donations. Pretty much just ask for donations on videos. So if you're feeling called to donate, you have enough resources for the integrative healthcare cause, please do so. I greatly, greatly appreciate it. Appreciate it. If you can't, it's okay. So that's it. So thanks again for watching. Until next time, goodbye.